Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Gino and today I am very excited to show you guys this simple Christmas tree cupcake recipe. These homemade white cupcakes are topped with a homemade buttercream frosting, and then they are topped with some chocolate or coconut flakes, and last but not least, they are topped with a beautiful Christmas tree that is super simple to make. These cupcakes are definitely inspired from holiday baking. I've been baking so much because I love baking throughout the year, but the holidays is one of my favorite times to bake just because there's so many things that you can do. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel, and if you'd like to show some support, simply hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can be reminded of whenever I post a new holiday inspired baking video or cooking video. To make our white cake, you will need 1 1/2 cups of cake flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar, half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. To make our homemade buttercream frosting, you will need 4 cups of powdered sugar, 2 sticks of unsalted butter that is softened, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and approximately 2 tablespoons of milk. You can also use a small pinch of salt to help balance out the sweetness. To decorate these cupcakes, you will need some Pocky biscuit sticks, or you can use pretzel sticks, some coconut flakes, or you can use chocolate shavings, some almond bark, or you can use white chocolate chips, or even candy melts. You will need some holiday sprinkles of your choice, totally optional, and some cupcake liners. I'm using these cute little candy cane ones. Before we begin, you want to make sure that you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. First, you want to add your salt and your baking powder in with your flour, and you just want to whisk it until everything is well incorporated. So now you just want to place your 1 stick of butter into a large bowl. Remember, this has to be nice and soft so it's easier to blend, and put your sugar into the bowl as well. Then you just want to blend this together until both ingredients are well incorporated. At this point, you want to add in your 2 eggs. You're going to add them 1 at a time. So add your 1 egg, then mix it up, then add your 2nd egg and mix it up again. At this point, once your wet ingredients are ready to go, you want to add a 1/3 of your dry ingredients. Then you want to mix it up. You want to then add half of your milk, mix it up. Add another 1/3 of your dry ingredients, mix it up. Add your 2nd half of your milk, mix it up, and finish with dry. Alright, so once your cupcake mix is all ready to go, you want to scoop and fill your cupcake cavities 2/3 of the way full. Once your cupcake cavities are all filled up, you want to place it into a preheated oven, and these will bake for about 15 to 18 minutes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very messy baker. I haven't even touched any chocolate yet, and somehow I have chocolate all over my shirt. How does that happen? Speaking of chocolate, we're gonna start melting our almond bark so we can decorate and create some amazing trees that'll top our cupcakes. So to melt the almond bark today, in order to drizzle and decorate our trees, I am using one of these fancy little candy melting pots. If you don't have one of these, it is totally okay. I actually just made a video on how to melt almond bark 3 different ways. This just happens to be one of the 3 ways. I will leave that video link down below in the description box. So basically, to use this pot, you want to turn it on and leave it on for about 5 minutes to heat up. After your 5 minutes is through, you want to place your almond bark inside and it'll start to melt. You basically just want to continuously stir every few minutes until completely melted. And that is how simple it is to melt almond bark using one of these fancy candy melting pots. Okay, so our almond bark is completely melted. So now I'm gonna dye it 3 different colors. I'm using pink, green, and blue today, but you can use whatever colors you'd like. In order to dye almond bark, you want to make sure you use candy colors. You don't want to use regular food coloring, as that is liquid and water-based, and that'll cause for the almond bark to curdle up immediately, making it basically unusable. This one is an oil-based food coloring, and that'll help keep the nice consistency of the almond bark. So what I'm gonna do is separate my almond bark between the 3 cups And I'm also going to leave a little bit inside my pot because I wanted to make a few white Christmas trees as well. So literally all you want to do is take a toothpick, swirl it around, get enough of your food coloring, and start mixing it into your almond bark. You need to make sure that you move quickly because the almond bark hardens very fast. Now onto the pink. I'm doing the same thing, getting enough of the dye and mixing it in with my almond bark. Last but not least is my favorite color, blue. And we're just gonna mix that into the last cup. Now that the colors are finished, I have a disposable piping bag. I'm gonna place it around a cup just so it's a little bit easier to pour all of our almond bark in. Then you want to push it all the way to the bottom and you want to cut a little snippet just like this. So here I have a couple of our biscuit sticks. What you want to do is make sure that you just go in a zigzag starting at the bottom. So we'll do this one right here and just go back and forth, making bigger lines at the bottom and then slowly making it skinnier and more narrow at the top. I like going back and forth a couple of times just to make sure that the tree doesn't break as easily. Cool, one down, 3 more to go. At this point, before the chocolate hardens, you can add a few decorations here and there. You can even add some sprinkles if you'd like. Once your chocolate trees are all ready to go, you're gonna place these into the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. That is how quickly they turn back into a solid. Alright, so now we are going to work on our buttercream frosting. Our cupcakes have finished baking in the oven. I set them aside so they can cool off while we work on our buttercream frosting. And if you have any extra Pocky biscuit sticks, just eat them. I'm not a big fan of pretzels, but if you guys like pretzels, definitely use those instead of the Pocky sticks. These are just some of my favorite snacks. Like, who doesn't like Pocky? Alright, so to make our buttercream frosting, you want to start by placing your 2 sticks of softened butter into a bigger bowl. Then you just want to cream your butter until it is nice and blended. Once nice and creamy, you want to gradually add your powdered sugar. I like to add about 1 cup at a time. I like to slowly mix it into the butter and then gradually increase the speed of my hand mixer until all of the powdered sugar is thoroughly incorporated. Once your butter and sugar is well combined, you want to add your vanilla extract and about a tablespoon of milk to start off. And if your frosting is still not the desired consistency, or if it is too thick, you can then add a little bit more milk to help thin it out. You want to just blend everything together until well combined. Literally, I can eat this entire thing of frosting, but am I going to? No, because you have to watch your sugar. But I will tell you that it is perfect. If you want to help balance out the sweetness, you can add a little pinch of salt. So now it is time to place all of our frosting into our piping bag. Once again, I have placed it and wrapped it around a tall glass cup just to make scooping a little bit easier. And then you want to start pushing it down. And then you want to cut a tiny piece off just like that. We're not using any fancy decorating tips today. We're literally just using a piping bag. So I took a cupcake and I leveled it off just because it had a big bump on it. And I felt like it wouldn't have been easy to roll it into the coconut. So what you want to do is take a piping bag, make a circle, finish at the center. Then you want to roll your cupcake into your coconut or your chocolate shavings, whichever you chose. And you see how it looks like snow? Then you want to take your chocolate tree and just stick it in, and voila. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again on Frosting Farts. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Remember, we made our homemade white cupcakes. covered it in our homemade buttercream frosting, topped it off with some coconut, or you can use chocolate flakes, and then we made these amazing chocolate trees that are nice and festive and definitely a great reminder of the holiday season. If you guys enjoyed today's content, remember to give a big thumbs up on the video, and if you'd like to show some support, simply hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can be reminded of whenever I post a new baking video. If you guys have any other suggestions or ideas that you'd like to see on the channel, just leave a comment down below. Alright guys, remember to keep things simple yet elegant, and I will see you in the next episode.